Beautiful ones, good evening to you. Happy Thursday. And for some of you, it's early Friday morning. Beautiful ones, hello. I'm using this new Facebook platform, this new live producer. So I'm hoping this turns out beautifully for you. But anyway, I wanted to say hello to you. And I hope that you all are having a fabulous day as I am. Today was a day of just healing work and also time for me to do some more business planning and moving forward. And I am just so excited to share with you all that this idea that your story will serve you until it no longer does. So here's the reality that I've come to learn to be true. What I've come to learn to be true is that at any given moment, we can quantum leap, we can shift our situation at any given moment. But I find that what keeps us stuck, what keeps us small, or what keeps us less than where we'd like to be is, like I shared in the Goddess Mind, a lot of it is our thinking. And the reality is our story and the stories that we allow to continue to run the show. Recently I was sharing with a beautiful person around what was possible for her because it's one of those things where as intuitive people, I'm sure this is the same for you. We can see things in other people, but it's hard for us to see ourselves. So it's like we need someone outside of us to kind of see things that we can't see. Sometimes we do, right? At least I do. But I was explaining to her just her greatness, just the majestic beautifulness that resides in her. And of course she had a hard time with that because she couldn't see it. But she couldn't see it because she kept coming up with all these different canned responses as I was asking her questions. And these canned responses is what I want to talk about today. Your canned responses are there and they're rote. And they come from the story that we've created, the story that we've accepted, the story that we've allowed. And the stories is what help us to make our decisions. They run the show. They literally run the show. They make us complacent. They feel good. They feel right. They're known. And so in order for us to move forward, we have to recognize when we're operating in stories. Because the stories they'll serve you until they no longer do. You get to a point where you want to grow so much that your old thinking, your old belief system, which is your story, can no longer get you to where you want to go. And there's the rub, right? So here you are, you're functioning at a specific level. It's worked for you up until now. Then you get to a point where you want to move forward. And for whatever reason, you feel like you just have a ton of bricks around your legs and you can't move. You have to shift your story to step into the new. It's nothing that you can avoid. And so I'm here to tell you that you get to shift that at any given time, that that's something that you and we actively decide at any given moment. Because your stories will only serve you until they no longer do. The stories will only show up for you and be there for you and protect you until they no longer do, until they're no longer applicable. The fact that they become no longer applicable, that's subject to change in terms of the timing. We get to decide that. Did you know that? You and we get to decide that when our stories can shift. I know recently I've had some come to Jesus moments with my family members because of the stories that we created as a family. And I realized I played a very big part in that, allowing specific things. And then I reached a point where, well, this is not serving me anymore, right? And so I had some harsh conversations around things that needed to change. And you know what? Everyone welcomed it. It wasn't a case where people were like, what are you talking about? Everyone welcomed it. And they welcomed it because they could see that these were stories, these were patterns, these were things that we were living into. And since we're all goal oriented as a family, if we want to move forward, the reality is we have to shift them. And so I've seen some beautiful progress since having those conversations with my family members. But my point is, we get to decide what that looks like at any given moment. We don't have to say, this is it, this is my lot in life, this is all there is for me. We get to decide, we get to shift at any given time. That is something that us as human beings possess. And even with everything that's going on right now and today in our society, with the upheaval, know that what's being challenged is the old story and the old way of doing things. That's what's happening. It's being challenged because the old way is no longer serving mankind. The old way of thinking about people and people, black people, white people, the divide, all of that is being challenged and is coming to question right now. This is what we're in the midst of. So again, the story will serve until it no longer does, right? And we get to decide when that is. So anyway, how are things going for you? I know I didn't schedule this or plan this. I didn't let you all know. So those of you watching by replay, I'm just curious about, do you have any stories that's going on right now that you need to bring into your awareness at a deeper level and then eventually shift so that you can move into the new? Do you have any of those stories? I'd love to hear about it. We'd love to hear about it. And I've got an announcement coming up shortly. I'm just scheduling the time, but we're going to have another um, Goddess Mind course because it was such a beautiful course. We're going to have another master class. So for those of you that missed it, we're going to be having another one within the week. I'm going to just put it on my calendar and then I'm going to let you all know when that's going to be. So God bless you all, and we will talk again, beauties. Take care. Bye-bye.